What is going on, guys? Commodore Labs here today, bringing to you my 1,000 subscriber Q&A special, which I know is a little bit long overdue, but we are here today regardless to get this Q&A video started. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, basically a couple of weekends ago, we actually hit the 1,000 mark on the channel. So as a kind of my token of gratitude for all the support you guys have been giving to me over the last year or so, I decided, I want to do a Q&A video, kind of, ask you guys to send me your questions. That way I can answer them today in this video. And, kind of get an insight with me, in regards to stuff regarding anime and manga, my life, that kind of stuff. So we're here today, man. We got a bunch of questions over here right in front of me. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. Now, the first question we got is from my boy Moose. He asked, favorite movie you've seen recently, and from a scale of 1 to 10, how trolls is Yoshida Shoyo, which is King Recon? I'll answer the second question. Recon's like a Bob Backlund, so I'll say like maybe 11.5 out of 10. So that's his rating. But in regards to the first question you asked, in regards to a favorite movie you've seen recently, I can't tell you for exact, like I've really went out of my way to go and watch like the current stuff that's out right now. I haven't watched like a movie like gone out to the theater and stuff in like ages and everything. So I've been watching stuff whether it be on Netflix or just films at home and stuff. But favorite movie that I've seen recently, I have to say, is like Dazed and Confused. And I know that's something going back to like 1994, but I went back and like rewatched it maybe like a couple weeks ago, and like that film was just so amazing, man. Like that's something I can rewatch like 100 times. And I will never get bored about it, Shout out to my man, Pink Randall Floyd. That guy's the GOAT, man. I don't care what anyone says, man. Pink Randall Floyd is the GOAT. Matthew McConaughey, Wooderson greatness, man. But yeah, shout out to Dazed and Confused, and shout out to Bob Backlund. So my boy Miles says, any plans on catching up to Vinland Saga? As a YouTuber, what video are you most proud of? And favorite series of all time that is personal to you? Congrats on 1,000 subscribers, my dude. Hey, appreciate that, Miles. In regards to the questions you asked me, man, pretty coincidental. I kind of waited on this one with Vinland Saga, considering now it has an anime. Vinland Saga, spoiler alert, for another question that's going to be answered afterwards, but it's somewhere within my top 5 favorite manga. Where its ranking is, you'll find out in a bit. But I'm caught up to Vinland Saga. I believe it's on chapter 146 at the moment. Still pretty deep into the current arc right now, the Baltic Sea War, which is about to spice up real soon with the current events going on. But in regards to Vinland Saga, I did plan on doing videos for it, but I'm gonna kind of like stay on my just reading the series on my own time and stuff. But again, if you guys want to see me actually cover Vinland Saga, do like reviews and stuff, kind of like how I do like my One Piece and Kingdom discussions, where I kind of have like my mic on and stuff, and I kind of just like images and that kind of thing. If you want to see something like that, let me know down in the comments. But that's in regards to Vinland Saga. Favorite video that I'm most proud of definitely is my manga collection video. I feel like that's the one where I had the most fun, considering it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, ever since I got into the community, like a few years back, and I was watching like other people's videos and them showing off their own collections, and I'm like, man, I got this awesome collection right here. I had to show it off, man. So that definitely is a video I'm very proud of. And favorite series of all time that is personal to me, I have to say it's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, just because of my love for Edward Elric, everything he stands for in regards to like family, sacrifice, just do everything you can for someone else's sake. I just absolutely love that, man. And Full Metal just has like some of my favorite fights, some of my favorite songs, just the characters in general, man. Like, it's so personal to me, man. That's the series I watched upon my first watch of getting back into anime and manga, and like that's a very special place in my heart. It's my favorite anime of all time still, and yeah, that's what's very dear to me. So Bradley asked, what anime and manga has gripped you and intrigued you the most, and what is your favorite things to eat? So kind of going back to what Miles was asking with his third question. So basically, like, for me, Fullmetal Alchemist has to be the one that most gripped me the most, considering like what Ed and Alphonse have pretty much gone through throughout their entire journey, for anime at least. When it comes to manga, it's such a tough one, man, because I have to go with Kingdom, or I have to go with like something like, I don't know, man, like Vinland Saga at the same time too, because of Thorfinn, his life and what he went through as well. Like, I love seeing characters who have like that struggle, and you want to be able to see them trying to get out of that dark spot in their life and trying to find the light for themselves. And like, I love just seeing stories like that. So for me, something like a Kingdom, something like a Vinland Saga. Recently I've been reading Ashita no Joe, which I think that might end up being the one series that I have to say has been the most gripping and intriguing. Like, Joe Yabuki, man, I hate what the hell that guy goes through, but like, man, just crazy stuff. But and also regards to favorite things to eat, pizza, pineapple pizza is pretty goat. Anyone that wants to debate me on that, I'll swing hands on site the first time we go to the con. But I do love Caesar salad. That's something that if you put me on a desert island and tell me that I can't eat anything else except for Caesar salad, hey man, we lit. Well, I'll eat that for the rest of my life, and we're gonna be lit, man. The next question is from Fluke. He says, so seeing that Moten is your favorite character in Kingdom, in the final chapter of Kingdom, what would your ideal scenario or panels be for Moten? Now, in regards to that, I would love to see something where, you know, he's just like sitting back, relaxing with his family members and stuff, maybe talking with his kid, and kind of, you know, maybe just giving us a little bit of a hint that his kid may eventually become like the next Moten, the next like one of the great generals of Kin. I think that'll be definitely something that'll be really dope to see, you know, as his final panels, considering that even though he is my favorite character in the entire series, I really don't see him having that much of a big focus and stuff towards the end compared to characters like, you know, Shin, Kario Ten, Kyokai, Issei. I really don't see him getting that kind of spotlight, but if he were to give it something like that, I would definitely like to see him being with his family. Maybe you can see like Mobu in the corner just like watching his kid, you know, taking care of his own kid and stuff, and kind of seeing like, you know, I raised a great kid. I raised the greatest of all time, man. But yeah, that's my ideal scenario for Moten. So next question we got is from Franklin. He asks, how does it feel to actually reach such a milestone? Congrats on 1K. Continue to put in work like this. Well, thank you so much for that, my Franklin. And in regards to the question, man, for me, it's such an awesome feeling because the whole entire time I've been myself. I've been, you know, just me. You know, I've been like, you know, my hype, energetic, you know, passionate self. Every time I come on here and I talk about whether it be Kingdom, One Piece, or anything I cover in general, the fact that, you know, I'm able to still be myself and, you know, be able to reach such a milestone just by being myself is pretty amazing feeling, you know. And then going from like, you know, being someone who asked for advice at one point in time to now being someone who actually, you know, gives out advice, I think that's like the big difference, you know, from actually reaching this mark. And I kind of can see that definitely increasing over time, depending on where we go on this journey, whether it be 2K, 3K, 4K. But definitely that's some of the things I've been noticing when it comes to being a 1000 commander, you know. Little things like that. Zypher, why would you do this to me, man? I was gonna say this for a video, but he asked me top 5 manga series of all time. I'm not gonna put them in order, but I'll tell you right now, it's Kingdom, it's One Piece, Detective Conan, Vinland Saga, and then the last one I'm gonna go with Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin. Those are my current 5 favorite at the moment. No order whatsoever, but when I do that top 10 video, you'll find out exactly the order and where I place all of them. Mr. X asks, your biggest inspiration growing up? Well, Mr. X, I think my biggest inspiration probably has to go down to my parents. I think my parents, for sure, I think the only biggest inspiration I have. Like, I never looked at like role models and stuff as inspirations. I look at them as people like, holy shit, these guys are cool and stuff. But like, in terms of people that have kind of like made an influence and an impact in my life and stuff, I definitely have to say my parents. You know, just seeing them, you know, struggle and sacrifice to be able to give like, you know, a life for myself and my brothers and stuff, and allowing me to be able to do some of the things I'm doing today, you know, it's pretty amazing. And I hopefully, like, you know, one day I'm able to kind of you know, give back to my parents and tell them, you know, how much I truly, you know, respect and cherish everything they've done for me. And I think, you know, for that question, they're definitely the biggest inspiration for me. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. And there's no bigger inspiration than your parents. So yeah, that's my inspiration. Next question is from my boy Stan. He asks, who is your all-time favorite anime manga character? Well, the thing is, man, I was saying before it was Edward Elric for a lot of reasons, because I love Full Metal Alchemist. But the man that is in his AVI right now, I can't lie, I see way too many similarities as, you know, being someone who is a vagabond in a way, as someone who is just kind of going with life, you know, day by day, instead of, you know, just setting up for the long term. I just take it step by step, and I'm just chilling out, man. And I gotta talk about the man himself, Gintoki Sakata. That's the character I have to say is my favorite, man. That guy is hilarious. When he is serious, you're invested in his story. You want to see this man succeed. You want to just laugh with them, cry with them, just absolutely everything attached to this man. I just see myself a lot. And shout out to Hideaki Sorachi for creating probably the best character in anime and manga. And that's factual. Anyone that wants to debate me on that, man, you know what? Let's step up. Step up to the corner right now and tell me that I'm wrong. Next question I got is from my man Michael, aka Linked Hero. He says, top 5 video games. So for me, I have to say right now, it's either Final Fantasy VII, Persona 4, Yakuza 2, Kingdom Hearts 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When we're talking about, like, you know, its gameplay, the story and stuff for it, I think, you know, the recent Zelda game, definitely one of the best ones easily in the series. But for the other ones, man, the Kingdom Hearts series is amazing, but 2 being my favorite. Yakuza 2 is legendary, and I can't wait to get back on Yakuza. Persona 4, funny enough, it was one of the weaker ones for me, but then kind of going back and replaying Persona 4 Golden, it's definitely risen that much higher on my list, and it is my favorite Persona game and my number 2. And Final Fantasy VII, listen, man, when that remake comes out, man, I'm going ghost. I might go on hiatus, I don't even know, but we're going to be going back to the Cloud Stripe greatness, man. It's going to be lit. Next question we got is from my man King Recon. He says, do you plan on watching the end of Evangelion? And if you could add one more arc to a series that's already ended, what series would it be? And what would the arc be about? So in regards to Evangelion, I'm going to be planning on watching that actually after Cowboy Bebop. I've already read the manga for Evangelion, but I've heard it's a little bit different with the anime and the movies. So, you know already, Recon, I'm going to be watching Evangelion, and definitely End of Evangelion will be watched for sure. That way I can actually get the full experience when it comes to MGE. In regards to one arc that would add to a series, you know, for a long time I was thinking of Toriko, just because, you know, if you guys are fans of Toriko, you know about the space arc and stuff that should have happened and everything. But if I had to give one more arc to a series, I think it would have to be Slam Dunk. I love the final arc, the final game and everything for that series, but I'm gonna be straight up honest, man. I was not a big fan of the payoff and stuff to it. I felt that, you know, maybe they should have just continued things a little bit more and, you know, go into a direction where we see like year 2 and stuff, and see how like my boys, you know, Hanamichi and Urukawa and stuff, how they're gonna be doing and everything. But I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that payoff. It's an amazing series still, definitely one of the very best, but I don't know. I think that's something that I really would have wished to see like more content from and see more Slam Dunk. And I get where I know it was coming from. He wanted to create like the best possible game whatsoever. But again, I really would have wanted like, you know, at least one more arc. That way I can like, you know, be able to actually have a proper good goodbye, you know, instead of just something where it kind of just, you know, it just happens. But that's just my thoughts on that. Next question is from my man TLG. He has top 5 favorite manga from this decade. So if we're going from 2010 up until now, I'm going to definitely say Haikyuu, Promised Neverland, Tokyo Ghoul, Assassination Classroom, and Nanatsu no Taizai. Those are the 5 that I can think of right now. Haikyuu is GOAT, Tokyo Ghoul is GOAT, Promised Neverland is going to be certified GOAT very soon. Assassination Classroom had a godly ending, and Nanatsu no Taizai, man, is still really good right now, but I'm just waiting for my man, you know, a certain bandit to kind of get back into the story. That way I can kind of re-experience the love I had at the beginning for Nanatsu no Taizai. I still like it, but I definitely say it's kind of hindered a little bit over time, but still, you know, one of my favorites from this decade. I was waiting for Quentin to ask me this one, man. Top 5 Conan characters. So, Shuichi, Masumi, Conan, Amuro, and I have to go with the sickle himself, man, because he's so goated, and that is Gin. So those are my 5 favorite characters, man. Shuichi Akai, Masumi Sera, Kota Edogawa, Toru, Amuro, and then Gin, man. The 3 letters, and he's top 5, baby. So Flying Panda asked me your top 10 favorite YouTubers, best art for One Piece, and targets for 2018. Best art for One Piece, I can't really say now because I actually been doing a video for that. So stay tuned, you'll get my answer for that. Targets for 2018, more collaborations, and possibly, I don't know, maybe gaming streams and that kind of stuff. Something I want to be able to do more often. But the main question I had, top 10 YouTubers, I'm going to say it out right now. Super Eye Patch Wolf, King Recon, Showbuckle, Brago the Ace, King of Lightning, Rogers Base, NZ Anime Manga, Joy Boy Theories, Being the Elite, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, because all 10 of them are pretty goats, and yeah, those are my top 10. So the next question I got is from my man, the Anime Corner. He asked, what are some manga you wish to get an English release, and what are your top 5 favorite anime? So top 5 favorite anime, I kind of did my top 10 list, but I don't mind like kind of like reiterating it a little bit. But the top 10, or top 5 should I say, it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Gintama, Hunter x Hunter 2011, Haikyuu, and then Yu Yu Hakusho. So you know, those are my top 5. If you want to see a top 10 list, there's a video for that. In regards to the series that I need to see get an English release, Kingdom, without question, is one of them. Rikudo, because it's something I really want to be able to see, and I know that like the series I think is almost in the 200s, and there's only like 60 some chapters that are out right now. So I would love to see that get an English release. You know, be able to experience another boxing series. Beelzebub too as well, because that's a series I've been hearing so much about, you know, back when Jump was like, you know, booming and stuff in like the mid 2000s, and like it was one of those series that I know I kind of missed out on and was told about so many times that, you know, you should go and check it out. So Beelzebub is one of them. I'm definitely gonna say Diamond Ace is another one too. I love the anime a lot for it, and while I know that the manga has an English release right now in terms of like the digital release, it doesn't have like an actual physical release. So I would love to actually own some physical volumes of Diamond Ace. And the last one I'm gonna say is maybe Billy Bat. Just that way we can get more Naoki Urasawa works over here in the West. That way we can have, you know, he has 20th Century Boys already, he has Pluto, he has Monster, and you know, just having Billy Bat here, you know, the more Urasawa, the more, you know, greatness we get to have. Next one is from a man Ninja. He asks, favorite movie. I'm going to go ahead and say Dazed and Confused, and for the very reason that it may not be a 10 out of 10, it may not be a 9 out of 10 in some other people's list, but for me, personally, it's a 10 out of 10. It's one of the most enjoyable movies I can watch, and, you know, it's a chill movie. It's a chill movie, and that's something that I like. I don't, you know, I do love to appreciate series that, you know, go into, or like movies that go into stuff where it's like, you know, a lot of dialogue, or a lot of information, or great setup and plot. But if it's something like, you know, just normal, like, you know, just chugging beers, breaking down mailboxes, you know, and like taking out bullies and stuff, man. That stuff is amazing. I love to watch stuff like that, man. You know, like I said before, man, shout out to Pink Randall Floyd, shout out to Wooderson. You know, just such a great film. And I think it's one of those two I kind of wish was made into a TV series. I think it would have been more fleshed out and more appreciated, but the movie itself is still GOAT. So the next question I got is from my man Candyman. He says, who would be in your Haikyuu dream team? 6 starters plus the libero. Congrats again on 1K. I appreciate that, Candyman. In regards to like my dream team, the 2 setters I have to think of, man, which I know it's 2 setters, 2 wing spikers, 2 middle blockers, and a libero. So the 2 spike setters actually would be Kageyama and Oikawa. I would have picked a certain character that we've seen from Inurazaki, but I still love Oikawa, and Oikawa has to be on my team. In regards to the wing spikers, this is where we have to go with the best of the best. I gotta go with Sakaza, and I gotta go Ushijima. In regards to the middle blockers, I'm gonna go with Kuro, and I have to go with Hinata because of the recent stuff in the manga. And in regards to the libero, man, I was gonna go with Nishinoya, but I really thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, man? I gotta go with this dude because he might have observation hockey for all we know. And that is Montoya Komori. Yeah, I can't wait for Itachiyama, man. I cannot wait for these guys. When we finally see them in the anime, and especially later, you know, deeper in the manga, hopefully when things start to, you know, kind of progress to the next stage, we're going to be witnessing some gods, man. We thought we'd seen some gods now. We are going to be witnessing some gods very soon in the Haikyuu manga and hopefully in the Haikyuu anime. So Gasarova asks, what are your thoughts, predictions, and wishes on the upcoming FIFA World Cup Russia 2018? Would you like to do a video about that? Well, in regards to the World Cup, man, I'm trying to do something, man. I want to be able to do like, you know, live streams or something, you know, during the games, or like something where like I'm watching the game and I'm, you know, streaming with you guys and stuff, just talking about it, where, you know, I'm not actually showing footage whatsoever, but like I'm watching it and I'm talking with you guys and stuff. So I may plan on doing something like that, especially for Ron Gang, aka Portugal Gang, because I gotta support the squad, man. I gotta support my roots, my heritage, and everything, man. Portugal is gonna have hopefully a deep run into the World Cup. Once we get the defense issue kind of set up, you know, hopefully get everything else taken care of, man. So yeah, definitely. I want to be able to do something like that. You know, maybe I'll talk with some of my other guys in the community who actually do watch soccer or football, however you guys want to call it. You know, that way we kind of have like a stream or something, you know, kind of making our own predictions, you know, kind of seeing, you know, who would make the finals and that kind of stuff. So if you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. Next up, we have RS question. He asks, who is your favorite Hunter x Hunter character and why? Definitely Chrollo Lucifer, because as far as we're concerned, he is the character that has the most swag. He has the most potential to be the absolute #1 throughout the entire series based on his ability. And he walks around with a death note. What else can you not like about the guy? So the next question we got is from Citron. He asks, ever since you started watching anime and reading manga, what moment impacted you the most? It could be comedic, emotional, or a suspenseful revelation. Kind of thinking back on it too, and especially going back to like my reread of One Piece, I think the one that really did, like, you know, it was like an eye-opener for me, this one. It was going back to like Dr. Haluk's speech during Drum Island. You know, it's asking, you know, when is a person truly dead? And, you know, the whole thing, you know, leading up to, you know, a man is dead when they are forgotten. And that, like, just hearing that, it's like, you know, if you've gone your whole life being alone and stuff, you know, and not having somebody be there with you, when you die, you're dead. But, you know, truly being gone in the public eye and stuff, you know, being forgotten, man, like, that is probably a fate that's more cruel than death, you know, itself. Because, like, no one's there to remember you. No one really cares for you or anything. You know, that's something that, you know, would trouble me. If I'm in, like, the afterlife and everything, and I find out, you know, people who really have forgotten about me and they didn't really care or something, you know, that's something that really does impact you, man. And, like, when I heard those words from Dr. Haluk coming out of his mouth, you know, from the anime, and, you know, that stuff really hurts, man. And I think, like, another one too, especially being, like, as a pet owner myself, going back to, like, you know, Gintama, there was a scene, like, where Sadaharu was, like, bringing fish to one of, like, the little dogs. I can't remember the dog's name, but it was something that just, it ripped my heart to pieces, man, because, like, you see Sadaharu there, like, struggling to bring food to this dog, and this dog is, like, suffering and everything, man. I'm just like, man, like, Oda and Sriracha are insane, but, like, man, they really know how to tell, like, a story, man. Just, like, really just mess up your emotions really bad. And, like, I think those are the two that, like, really come to mind. But I definitely think, like, you know, Haluk's, when it comes from, like, something that really hits you from, like, a real life standpoint, I think definitely, like, you know, his speech is the one thing that's hit me the most when it comes to anything that I've read or watched when it comes to anime or manga. Next question we got is from Niall. He asked, your favorite anime movie? For me personally, I have to say The Wind Rises. That's a Studio Ghibli film. It has just some, you know, Studio Ghibli is known for having some amazing animation stuff, but I just really love that story so badly. And it's something that I kind of do feel like I need to go back and give it a rewatch as soon as possible. and you know, also be able to experience like the other movies that have came out, stuff like, you know, A Silent Voice, Your Name, which I've heard so many amazing things about. But for me, still, I gotta say it's The Wind Rises. So the next question I got is from my man Daniel. He asks, give me your top 10 strongest Gintama characters in order. Yeah, I'll do that for you, man. So look, we'll go get the top 10 list right now. The list goes Fruits Punch Samurai G, Captain Katsura, DJ Ozura, Katsura Rap, Zura, Zuraichi, Zurako, Izurako, Hashira, Afuro, and definitely my last one, but not least, Donald Zorumpa. So just to repeat it in order, man. Fruit Punch Samurai G, Captain Katsura, DJ Ozura, Katsurap, Zura, Zuraichi, Zurako, Ezuraku, Hashira, Ufuro, and Donald Zorumpa. Top 10 strongest Gintama characters without question, man. And the last question we got for today is from my man Silver Soul, aka Yorozu Yabas. He asks, how did you discover manga? Now, in regards to manga, the way I discovered it was that, you know, for years I already knew about anime and stuff. I knew Dragon Ball, I knew about like Hakusho, that kind of stuff, you know, little things like Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade and stuff. But when I was at my school library, this was back in like the 3rd, 4th grade, I remember going into the library and I saw that they had like the OG red volumes of Dragon Ball over there. And I was just like shocked. I'm like, wait, they actually have a comic for this thing? And then I was being told after that this is called a manga. And I went and saw, you know, like the first 16 volumes that they had at the library and stuff. And I remember like going there on my free time, just like reading the Dragon Ball manga. And I was just like blown away. And like, they actually have this stuff in like actual books. Like, there's no way. And, you know, that's how I experienced, you know, Dragon Ball in the manga. I saw, like, you know, stuff like Whistle, one of my favorite soccer manga, and something I need to go back and, like, you know, do a reread for. And One Piece, I remember reading up to, from Romance Dawn up until the very conclusion of Sir Village, just about to enter the Baretti arc. And I never got a chance to go back and read One Piece after that point until, like, you know, my tail end of, like, high school and stuff in 2012. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I discovered manga. And that pretty much concludes today's Q&A video, guys. Thank you guys so much again for the 1,000 subscriber milestone, man. Just, you know, it's still freaking awesome that I got here. We're already almost at 1,200 and stuff, so it's a good thing I did this before we get any further away and I kind of forget about this. But like I said before, man, thank you guys so much again for all the support you guys have given me. And I'll continue doing my best, you know, just being the best of me that I can. You know, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be of Commodore Laz. If you guys didn't send me any of your questions over on Twitter because, you know, for whatever reason you guys don't have Twitter, but you still want to ask me anything, you know, leave them down in the comment section below and I will reply to them as soon as possible. Rate the video however you guys want to. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here, you want to be part of this journey. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. So Commodore Laz, signing off. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, man, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Take care.